OTK drama is back on the menu, boys. A 5-2 OTK man but lit versus a scrawny white powder enjoyer. Who will win? Us. We will win.
Hello, friendos. Today we're reacting to and talking about millionaire streamers on Twitch doing millionaire streamer on Twitch things. As we all...
To be fair, Mitch Jones is not a millionaire. I would be honestly surprised if he has even 100k in his bank account. If I had to place my bets, he's most likely in debt, by the way.
know, content creators, for whatever reason, get popular, become multimillionaires, and then can't help but be despicable, weird, predatory, just odd people. My theory for this is...
True. If you don't know what he's not referring about this, but if you do not know how the streamer situation happens, most of the streamers are based in Texas, Austin, and the big streamers are literal gatekeepers. Remember how Pokimane said, oh yeah, we should be the ones who choose who becomes a streamer and doesn't? That's already happening behind closed doors. The big streamers like Mizkif and whatnot are already choosing who actually is going to become a streamer if they are in that area. Because one word from them gets anyone who they want completely ostracized out of the community for fear of, well, being ostracized by the big ones, and then you have no opportunities and whatnot. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's easier to suck up than say bad things about someone if you want to get famous. It is what it is.
Twitch, obviously, specifically, not talking about YouTube, where this is also a big problem. But Twitch, you have a bunch of nerds, right? I'm not even using that disparagingly because I'm a nerd myself.
Oh, look at all these videos. The Mizkif situation is also awful. Hasanabi Productions. That sounds bad.
You have a bunch of nerds who were not particularly popular in high school, or, you know, weren't really the most socially well...
Mitch Jones was probably popular in high school.
...adjusted people.
Mizkif. Well, there's a reason why he takes steroids. And by the way, if you're one of those insane people who loves Mizkif, congratulations on being 7, by the way. It's a tough time to go through in life. I understand. I wish you the best, you little child. But... Dude, if anyone is... Dude, even if you're 10, I think that this should be very blatantly obvious that Mizkif is juicing as much as possible. There is no situation almost in life where it's possible to naturally get that your veins pop out of your arms. That's the most classic, undisputed steroid usage thing ever. There's no such thing as, oh, I'm gonna do this and my veins are gonna pop out like 3 branches from my arm type of situation. It doesn't exist. Stop. You're an embarrassment.
And then they get famous and rich and get all this ego and all these opportunities and things that they think that they can do as a result of other nerds watching them on Twitch. And they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to be normal people. So what they end up doing is falling into the pits of, you know, drugs and addiction and just ego and narcissism. And then you get all these stories about how they're all wilding out behind the scenes. Now, Mitch Jones is a World of Warcraft streamer, or at least that's what he was famous for originally. And he's been embroiled in a whole bunch of drama. I think he's in his early 30s now, so you would have thought by this stage he'd have grown up a little bit. But apparently not, and he's...
Nope, Mitch Jones is a certified idiot.
Part of, you know, the Austin crew. A lot of people that came from the World of Warcraft side of things, you know, Asmongold lives there, Mizkif, it's the whole, like, OTK group. And then Mitch is sort of on the periphery. I don't think he's really part of the main group anymore. Again, this is...
Well, after the first Mizkif incident, which we all know about, after that one... As Asmongold probably told everyone to just cut ties with him as much as possible. Man, that's why Alindi, I think, is still around. It's not like Mizkif is gonna actually care what Asmongold tells him to. Both of them are millionaires and they can sue each other into oblivion, so that's not happening. But it is funny
me maybe being a little bit uninformed on the whole dynamic. But obviously there's been times recently, especially with this group, where there has been a bunch of drama about certain members. Now Mitch has decided
that's the understatement of a year. They literally they got into 2 huge dramas a year and something ago, and then covered all of it up, which was absolutely hilarious and was full of lies. And now there's like some kind of Genshin Impact drama where he Tectone, he is an OTK member, if I remember correctly, if I know correctly. I think he should be, because there's Asmongold talking to him, and why would Asmongold cover up for someone who's not part of the org, right? So you got that stuff happening also. Oh my god, and I haven't checked out that Genshin stuff too much, but as much as I can see, everyone just there is a horrible person. There is literally no one who's right. They're all just horrible people.
He was going to release a video talking about how he'd been assaulted by Mizkif.
True.
I don't know who told him this was a good idea. Obviously, if you hear, I've been assaulted by a famous streamer and he broke my tooth and he gave me concussion and he choked me, you're thinking, wow, man, somebody really needs to stop that streamer. So Mizkif needs to be stopped. He seems like a fucking animal on the loose, right? But unfortunately, that...
I mean, the term roid rage didn't just magically appear out of thin air, though.
It's not exactly what happened, right? Otherwise, Mitch Jones would actually get a W here on this one. So he released...
No, that's honestly not true. We're talking about the internet. In the internet, the dynamic is simple. You have more viewers than the other person. You're right, no matter what happens, pretty much. It's very hard to be wrong when you have more viewers and more fans than the other person.
This video in which he's talking about and showing, you know, the damage of what happened to him, saying that he'd gone to the hospital for a CT scan, all stuff that I don't doubt. I don't doubt he did. But then deceptively, he showed stills and a couple second clips of what it looks like Mizkif, you know, getting out of the car, walking over to him, you know, beating his ass, and then getting back in the car.
Yeah.
And obviously, he's acquired this footage, presumably from somebody's CCTV camera, you know, these big houses in the hills, you know, living extravagantly.
By the way, the situation about this is kind of bad. Sure, on one hand, the world is weaker. There would have been a time where talk shit get hit is completely normal, but now that's no longer the world. But, like, no one cares at all what Mizkif does, because no one likes Mitch Jones, and, well, Mizkif's just a bigger streamer. Bruh, the guy was speeding through a cul-de-sac area like this. Do you know where children get actually hit? Exactly in places like that. So, no one cares about that part. Like, this could have... It's summer. It's a place like this. And some guy who's on steroid rage is speeding through it. Dude, this is the easiest -1 kid that anyone has ever seen before. And you don't think he's actually, like, just itching to start the fight here?
As you do as a big, extravagant streamer. And he's subtitled this himself. So he's heard what's been said and thought, yeah, this needs to be selectively added to the clip. I didn't release the whole thing, of course. That would probably have made me look bad. So I'll...
No, this still makes him look bad. Again, no one here looks good. Well, everyone thinks Mizkif looks good because, again, Mizkif, big streamer. That's how the world works.
Choose which parts I'm going to put in. Then he's heard it and wrote down the sentence, Mizkif, you are drunk and on cocaine. That's Mizkif saying that to him. And obviously within this edited video, he doesn't show the whole thing, which we have here, that still isn't the whole thing, but is more, which we'll go over in a second.
I'll show it,
so basically, his presentation of it is, I'm in the right, Mizkif is an out-of-control crazy man.
No one's in the right here. And Mizkif is an out-of-control crazy man.
Who just beat my ass for no real reason. And I was really drunk, which means he could have killed me, which we'll get to in a second. So his story is they were arguing at Mizkif's house, and then they were arguing so badly that Mitch decided to ask him, will you drive me home? And he said, yeah, I'll do that. And then, apropos of nothing, when they were in the car, got out, beat his ass, and left him on the side of the road, beaten, battered, and bruised.
Oh, that's not even his house? Wow.
But obviously, the footage, as we'll show now, doesn't really line up with that. And again, this is footage he released and has selectively been edited to remove, presumably, where he was actually assaulted, which would have been great context to include if you were in fact in the right. If somebody beats you up for no reason,
I wonder if this is something new.
And you have the footage of it, you just release the footage, but this is what we got. So he said he could take him, which he's not disagreeing with. He's not saying, no, I didn't, you did this for no reason. He's saying, Mizkif saying, you were goading me, you were saying you could...
That is perspective. Akira is actually 100% in the wrong here. Because we don't know. This is perspective. You don't actually know. Maybe Mitch Jones was there like lying, being on cocaine and being like, I could take you 7 times, man, easy. And Mizkif's like, you could? Yeah. And then he just stops the car and beats him. We don't know. This does not give us any information. That's the reality. Yeah, so I haven't missed any clips.
Take me 7 times.
Yeah.
You're drunk and on cocaine.
I mean, also, by the way, if someone's ass is getting beaten, if someone's just there being beaten, and someone's just the guy who's just beat you is there, bro, you can say whatever you want. You can say, why did you fuck my dog? And the other guy would probably be too afraid to say anything, even though that did not happen. Like, social situation. Well, this is a social situation at the end of the day now, isn't it? That we have no idea what happened here. I mean, if he was on the ground lying and there would be a guy who was ready to beat him again and he's talking, you let him talk. 99 out of 100 times, no one's objecting to anything. Maybe they're just trembling or something, or shaking their head or something, or doing something like that, and we can't see. But, bro, you're not objecting to that. So the fact that you didn't say, bro, you say that against that man, and you know what's happening? That's happening, but only with a fist, maybe. Bro, the fact that he doesn't object here to that being said doesn't mean anything. If I was in that position, I would also not object to anything. I would probably agree with anything in that situation being said, because that's simply the way to not get beaten. Okay? And we don't know what happens here. That's the thing. We don't know. Again, he could have been just, I could take you in a fight. You're easy. And then Mizkif just loses his temper and beats him. We don't know if that happened. We just know that there's a guy on the floor who's afraid to probably get more beaten at this point, and there's a guy raging over him, probably from steroids. This is as good as it gets, boys.
So it's the middle of the day, as you can see here. It's just an average streamer day.
Then man the fuck up, pussy, and actually do it, loser, not just talk about it. Oh, you made me, well, then do it, loser, like, man up. Who's gonna care about you? Probably no one.
All you can say, fuck you. All you can do is say, fuck you. You think you treat it like shit.
We don't know that. We have no idea. We don't know if this is true or this is not true. I haven't even seen clips, by the way, of this being true. Also, if you're getting treated by like shit constantly by him, why are you driving him home? Why are you letting him in your house? Like, there are so many questions here that just don't make any sense at all. This is just, to me, this looks like completely in the moment.
So, you treated me like shit. I'm your friend. I'm trying to, talk to you as a friend. And you treat me like shit.
He's just assuming that's that there's no reason to assume this. There is no reason to assume that what Mizkif is saying is magically the truth. That it's the full story.
And then his response is, I don't care, but you broke my tooth. So all about me. Me.
You said, come on. You pulled me out of the car. You said, let's go. You can't say let's go.
If that's true, that's true. But how is he gonna pull him out of the car?
Oh, you pulled this is Mizkif saying to him, and of course Mitch has presented this as if he's the victim, saying that he...
How can he pull him out of the car? Again, we need to see this. We see him just stop suddenly while speeding, and then he gets beat up. We don't know what's happening here at all. I wonder if we will ever know what's happening, though.
You know, Mizkif assaulted him for no reason. You pulled
Maybe.
me out of the car, so Mitch pulled Mizkif out.
Why are you just magically? Kid is acting here like there's evidence to that. No, there isn't. There's currently absolutely no evidence. I doubt that he would even attempt that. Honestly, he could, maybe. Who knows? But what? He's just acting like this is the truth. Like everything that Mizkif's here is saying is the truth.
Out the car.
We are missing so much context.
And said, let's go. And Mitch's response is not, no, I didn't. You know, you pulled me out of the car. You choked me. You beat me up. I didn't think you would punch me. Now, I might come from a rougher background than some people that obviously have grown up privileged to the point where
this doesn't make sense. Also, by the way, this timeline doesn't make sense. If he's trying, so first of all, by this timeline, you know what happens here first? Well, Mitch Jones is just trying to get him out of the car, and then he says, "Let's go." As much as we understand here currently, they stopped, and then he got out of the car and beat him up. So this kind of doesn't make sense already. Again, we need the full clip here.
They think goading somebody, putting hands on somebody, pulling them out of a car and saying, let's go.
Goading someone is completely fine. Goading someone is completely fine, by the way. If we're gonna, if we are going through legalities, now I don't know, maybe Texas is different, who honestly knows? Even most likely people in Texas don't know. But if you ever answer with a physical confrontation to words, then pretty much almost always you're gonna go to jail or prison or whatever. It could be different in Texas, but even if Mitch Jones says let's go, then that needs to then is that an actual, like, let's start fighting now? We need to see it, because this doesn't mean anything. Nothing that we see here currently is conclusive to any side. We just know they stopped and Mitch Jones got beaten. That's it. We don't know if there was a reason, no reason, many reasons, 100 billion good reasons. Maybe Mitch Jones actually just took the wheel and tried to, end everything. Who knows? Maybe that happened. Probably not, but that's still a possibility. We're missing so much here.
Is not going to result in them punching you. Where I grew up, you get about quarter of the way through the sentence, and then somebody...
Oh, shut the fuck up, you absolute dildo lover. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, and what do you think, what would he do now? If someone just came up to him and pistol whipped him? Oh, that's just how the hood goes? That's just how life works? No. So acting tough now, oh, I grew up where things were harder and people got into fights. Yeah, that's not really anything. Oh, yeah, same dude. It is what it is, but man, this doesn't mean anything.
He headbutts you or something like that, on a council estate, in a working man's pub or something like that, in England. The idea that you're grabbing another full-grown man while intoxicated, shouting at them, saying that you're going to fight them, and then you're surprised.
You grabbed them, which means that you are legally obliged to break their arms.
When they hit.
And you do break arms, by the way, bro. If you're fighting, you're fighting to prove a point. You're fighting to cripple someone. Because who can prove that that was not necessarily violence? It's actually really hot experience.
You, when you are the one being threatening in that situation, why the fuck did you release this footage? Why did you, if this was not public?
Again, threaten. What does it mean to be threatening? Because from Mizkif's perspective, by the way, Mitch Jones can't be threatening. Mizkif has done sambo judo or something like that. He's going to the gym every day, and on the other hand, you have Mitch Jones, who has probably never thrown a punch in his life. Just looking at this situation from Mizkif's perspective, there is absolutely no point where Mizkif feels threatened by Mitch Jones to begin with. So this is also, by the way, an argument for this situation, what happens. Because most likely Mizkif at no point even feels remotely threatened by Mitch Jones. So there you kind of go. That's also something that needs to be accounted for.
Which it wasn't. Who's convinced you, mate, other than maybe your brain and your narcissism, that you would come out looking good from doing this?
So back to the story. I was at his house, we were arguing, and then I asked him for a ride home. I get in his car, we're still arguing, and that's when we drive past this part of the neighborhood where the camera caught the assault, and I have the evidence right here.
So that's the evidence he posted originally during this live stream, where he was like, I'm exposing Mizkif for savagely beating me.
So that was right before the assault. This is directly after the assault.
So bear in mind again, if the...
Do you think we're gonna ever see the full footage? Or this is just gonna be one of those, it just dies down over situations? I think it's gonna be one of those. I mean, Asmongold is gonna sue Mizkif into oblivion before the org gets even into more trouble. Man. Because the whole of OTK is just like a absolute non-stop giant mess of some kind of drama where someone is a horrible human being constantly. So, it is what it is.
This did happen in the way that you said. You just released the full unedited footage, wouldn't you? Oh, this is before and this is after. Let's skip all the context and all the important part and just have me on the ground after, you know, fucking Uno reverse card. I'm going to fight you. No shit, you just beat my ass.
Assault.
For some odd reason, Mitch Jones intentionally edits the footage down to before and after the assault only. So, as we've just seen this part. Now, obviously, this has resulted...
Now, by the way, it does make sense that Mitch Jones would edit the footage to look better, right? But you need to understand, Mitch Jones is an actual unironic idiot. Like, he probably doesn't know what 2 + 2 × 2 is. And I'm not even joking, I'm not even being mean. He probably is that stupid. So, we don't actually know if he maybe edited out something that makes him look good. We don't know because Mitch Jones is just that stupid. Crazy stuff.
In a lot of the content creators in the periphery of this group, the people who hang around with Mizkif and, you know, in the Austin area and things like that, to come out and talk about Mitch, and none of it's good. Nobody's come out and said, you know, I know Mitch Jones and I've known him for years and he's actually a really good person. And
well, yeah, guess what? The moment you... Again, you need to look at the history here. From what's the girl where Mizkif protected his friend of our allegations and whatnot. That one. Yeah. That girl got ostracized out of every community possible in the Austin area. Like, her streaming career was literally ended by that. Because she got ostracized by everyone, because everyone's obviously afraid of it. Like, let's not pretend that there's not a part to play here. If I had to choose between... If my life was dependent on this moment, if my income was dependent on this moment, and I had to choose between saying, oh, this does not make anyone look good, or this makes Mizkif look good because Mitch Jones is bad, and Mizkif could end my career, hell yeah, Mizzy! Oh my god, how could Mitch Jones do this? He's such a cretin. Oh my god, he's the worst person ever. I saw him torture a cat. Bruh. I would even toss in a little bit lies there to just make Mizkif love me more, okay? If my career was on the line, You bet I am protecting the guy who pays my bills and gives me bread. Not even a question. Not even close, boys. Damn. Well, so, yeah, this is a horrible analysis. Anyway, Kira. So, yeah, I think we're kind of done here. Anyway, that was Kira. Good videos, but I don't think this one was a zinger. Because, again, we just don't know too much. You're assuming way too many things. I'm not assuming anything because I'm saying we need to see the full video. But it is what it is. Crazy stuff. But I don't think we're ever going to see the full video. That's the sad part. It is what it is.